Today is Thursday, September 21st. We'll bring you the biggest takeaways from some heated back and forth on Capitol Hill, mostly between the U.S. Attorney General and Republicans. Also, the Fed's latest interest rate decision and how to get 4 more free COVID-19 testing kits. Plus, new details on a major new green jobs training program. Why Airbnb is worried about fake listings and what it's doing about it. And how often do you think about the Roman Empire? That's the viral question online lately, so if you're not sure what it's all about, we'll explain. Those stories and much more news to know next. Welcome to The Newsworthy. All the day's news in around 10 minutes. Fast, fair, fun, and on the go. I'm Erica Mandy. Thanks so much for being here. You ready? Let's do this. America's top law enforcement official faced an especially tense hearing on Capitol Hill this week. During a hearing with Attorney General Merrick Garland, many Republicans grilled him about what they call the weaponization of the federal government, while Democrats brought up other issues entirely. So let's talk about it. All in all, the hearing lasted 6 hours. Some political analysts are looking at this as a preview of what's to come, since Republicans consider Garland key to a possible impeachment case against President Biden. Remember, Republicans have been accusing Biden of being involved in corruption with his son Hunter, and accusing Attorney General Garland and the rest of the Justice Department of working to protect the Bidens while persecuting former President Trump. Those accusations were brought up many times during yesterday's hearing. Some lawmakers brought up the IRS whistleblower who has said the Hunter Biden investigation was tainted by politics. Well, Garland responded by insisting the Justice Department treats everyone the same regardless of party, and that the special counsels in charge of the Hunter Biden and former President Trump cases work independently, suggesting lawmakers should ask them any questions. He also refused to get into specifics of ongoing investigations. Then Dems tried to turn the focus to other issues, asking Garland how prosecutors handle drug crimes and how they are pursuing war crimes in Ukraine. They also brought up an increase in threats against law enforcement, which Garland called astounding. One of Garland's key messages from the hearing was, quote, "We will not be intimidated, and we will not back down from defending our democracy." Next up, Republicans have said it's possible Garland ends up facing his own impeachment or contempt charges for not fully answering their questions or giving them access to documents and witnesses they've requested. But so far, they haven't launched any official inquiry into the AG. So stay tuned. The U.S. finally has a new top military officer, but only after months of delays. Senators voted to confirm Charles Q. Brown Jr. as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He's replacing General Mark Milley, who is set to retire in less than 2 weeks now. The Senate was finally able to make time for confirming Brown, even though it took longer than usual, since Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville has been blocking or delaying hundreds of nominations. We're talking about more than 300 senior military officers. Normally, military leaders are confirmed by what's called unanimous consent, which lets the Senate instantly pass uncontroversial measures, as long as no senator objects. Well, Tuberville has been objecting, making the process take a whole lot longer, like longer than what the Senate says it has time for. As a reminder, Tuberville has been holding out in protest of a Pentagon policy he's against. It's the one that pays for women in the military and military family members to travel to other states for reproductive health care, including abortions. And when he was asked yesterday whether he plans to keep his hold on other military nominees, Tuberville told reporters, "Oh yeah." But at this point, the Pentagon has not shown any signs that it might change its policy. Well, now that a Joint Chiefs chairman has been voted in, the Senate Majority Leader is planning at least a few more votes soon through regular order. Right now, the Joint Staff does not have a Senate-confirmed representative for the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, or Air Force. So, to be continued. Don't expect interest rates to go down anytime soon. This week, the Federal Reserve decided to keep rates where they are. So while it's staying steady for now, it's still a 22-year high. And Fed officials hinted that depending on how the economy looks, another rate hike could be coming later this year before they'll likely finally come down next year. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell explained by saying he's happy to see inflation going down over the last few months, but he and other officials want to see that trend for a little longer before deciding on no more hikes. For now, this latest decision means the benchmark short-term rate is staying between 5.25% and 5.5%. Fed officials meet again in 6 weeks. Americans will soon have another chance to get some free at-home COVID-19 tests. The government will once again let each American household request 4 free tests. You'll be able to make the request through the website covidtests.gov starting Monday. The website first launched in January of 2022, but it stopped taking orders a few months ago when the public health emergency ended. Well, even though the emergency declaration has not come back, the program is. The Biden administration expects to have enough tests, especially since it's spending $600 million for COVID test manufacturers to boost capacity. That should ensure 200 million new tests. Plus, there are even more in the strategic national stockpile. They'll go out through the U.S. Postal Service starting October 2nd. We have more news for you still coming up, but first, a quick break for our sponsor, who helps keep this show free to you. Some habits can be hard to stick to, but have you ever had certain ones that you start to crave because they just make you feel better? That's what the daily nutrition supplement AG1 has become for me. I was looking for something that would help with boosted energy, better gut health, and a way to get a wide variety of nutrients without having to take a million pills. And now I get all of it with AG1. In fact, it now feels like an easy little something that I do just for myself each morning. It's 1 scoop of powder mixed with water, and I was surprised how quickly I noticed that it helps me with improved digestion, morning hydration, and just an overall feeling that I'm ready to start the day. AG1 is made from 75 of the highest quality whole food sourced ingredients from around the world, intentionally curated for their ability to nourish all of the body's systems in harmony. So if you are looking for a simpler, effective investment for your health, try AG1. And listen to this, you can get 5 free AG1 travel packs and a free 1-year supply of vitamin D with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/newsworthy. That's drinkag1.com/newsworthy. Check it out. Now back to the news. The White House unveiled a new jobs training program this week, specifically for so-called green jobs. Its goal is to put tens of thousands of people to work in its first year, and it's being called American Climate Corps. Some of the work will include restoring land, deploying clean energy, and improving communities' resilience to natural disasters. President Biden's climate policy advisor says it will accomplish 2 things. 1, address the climate crisis, and 2, open up pathways to good-paying careers. The training program itself will pay participants and will not require any previous experience. And that's supposed to pave the way for jobs in either the public or private sector. It's modeled after the New Deal program that put people to work during the Great Depression, restoring public lands and building infrastructure for national parks. But while that one provided jobs for millions of people, this one is just aiming for 20,000, at least for now, on the federal level. It's being called the largest ripple effect so far from the United Auto Workers' historic strike. General Motors just announced another 2,000 indefinite layoffs. They're happening because GM decided to close a manufacturing plant in Kansas, even though the employees there were not striking. The automaker said there just wasn't any work available for most of the people there because workers at another GM facility did go on strike last Friday. Ford and Stellantis have also announced indefinite layoffs, but on a smaller scale. Meanwhile, the UAW has said more workers are about to go on strike tomorrow if there isn't serious progress on a new contract before then. But so far, no word on exactly which workers are planning to walk out next. Airbnb says it's on a mission to rid its platform of properties that don't exist or are owned by someone other than the host. The short-term rental service says it surveyed users and found big concerns about an outbreak of fake listings. So it says it's now removed 59,000 fake listings and kept another 157,000 from joining this year. And now Airbnb says later this year, it's going to start verifying all listings in its top 5 markets, including the US and UK. Hosts will actually have to go inside the property and open the Airbnb app. GPS will then verify they're at the correct address, and artificial intelligence will be used to compare live photos with pictures the host uses on the listing. After that, properties that pass the test will get a verified icon on their listings starting in February. It's the season of fall product launches, at least in the tech world. Just this week, Amazon unveiled its new lineup of software and devices. For example, a new Alexa voice assistant. It apparently has a more human-like voice and is able to hold more natural conversations. It will also learn more about users with each new interaction. So, for example, when giving you the score of a game, Alexa would sound excited if the team that won is the same team you're a fan of, or disappointed if the opposing team won. Those new features are powered by generative AI. In hardware, Amazon debuted a new Echo smart speaker for $150. It adjusts its display based on where the user is in the room. and it's said to have improved sound. Then there are the Echo Frames smart glasses that can take calls and play music while looking like regular glasses. Those start at $270. There's also a new Fire TV with revamped search features and a Fire TV stick that's supposed to be faster than the last one. And that's just a few examples of the devices and new features announced this week. Of course, Amazon has plenty of competition these days, too. Apple just revealed its lineup of devices last week, including the iPhone 15, which officially becomes available tomorrow. And Microsoft is planning its own launch event today. It's rumored to have new laptops, tablets, and of course, new AI ready to be showcased. That's it for the main news today, so now it's time for Thing to Know Thursday. But first, this episode is brought to you by Miracle Made. I love that feeling of climbing into bed with cozy, clean sheets. And now I can do this even more often knowing my sheets are essentially self-cleaning. Miracle Made sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No odors, no worries. Plus, they're super comfortable and even thermoregulating to help make sure that I'm the right temperature all night long. So go to trymiracle.com/newsworthy to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo Newsworthy at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/newsworthy and use the code Newsworthy to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/newsworthy to treat yourself. Okay, now back to Thing to Know Thursday. Have you noticed all of a sudden there are a lot of people talking about ancient Rome? It's all because of a viral trend on social media. It started with a Roman reenactor who shared an Instagram video with the caption, "Ladies, many of you do not realize how often men think about the Roman Empire." So in video after video, women have been seeing for themselves, asking their husbands, boyfriends, fathers, and brothers how often they think about the Roman Empire. And yeah, in most of the vids posted, women find out that men in their lives think about it on a regular basis, ranging from monthly to weekly to sometimes daily. Some men have followed up with explanations, saying the empire had influence on language, architecture, law, literature, the military, and so on. And a few women have admitted that they have a fixation on ancient Rome, too. But the vast majority of these kinds of responses have come from men. So here's the question. Is this just a social media craze, or does it actually illustrate something about the differences between men and women? Well, some experts tell USA Today men could be more likely to gravitate toward a society that glorified male strength. But even some men celebrated for their strength now say they don't actually follow this trend. For example, when someone asked NFL great Rob Gronkowski how often he thinks about the Roman Empire, he said, quote, "Only when I watch the movie Gladiator." Thank you so much for listening today. A quick reminder that if you get value out of this show, if you enjoy it, please continue to listen and tell other people about it. Thank you for all of your support so we can keep doing this work. We'll catch you up on more news to know tomorrow. Until then, have a great day.